This is how AI will end privacy forever. We're all used to the fact that big tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft are gathering data about us whenever we use their services. But artificial intelligence is about to take this to a whole new level. In today's video, we're going to discuss how AI is currently being developed in such a way that it could literally end human privacy forever. So, let's get started. Number 1, the death of anonymity. One of the ways that people cope with the loss of privacy is by creating fake identities online. They make up fake names, they upload random pictures, and they try to stay far away from any personal details that could identify them in the real world. But if we allow AI to develop without any restrictions, then even this small sense of security will be taken away from us. You see, one of the recent developments in the field of artificial intelligence is something called generative adversarial networks, or GANs for short. These are computer systems that can generate realistic images given just a text description. For example, researchers at Google have developed a GAN that can generate incredibly realistic photos of people given just a text description. So what does this mean for our right to anonymity? Well, imagine a world where law enforcement agencies could simply type in person A standing next to person B into a text box, and then the algorithm would spit out a photo of those two people together, even if they had never been photographed in public before. Or imagine a world where an insurance company could generate a photo of you speeding down the highway at 100 miles per hour, even though there was no camera in your rearview mirror. These are not far-fetched scenarios. This is already possible today with current GAN technology. And as these algorithms continue to improve, they're going to become even more convincing. Number 2, the rise of AI proxies. Another way that people cope with the loss of privacy is by using proxies. By routing their internet connection through a server in another country, they can hide their IP address and make it much harder to track their online activity. However, this too will soon be rendered useless thanks to AI. That's because AI is being developed right now that can determine the approximate location of a user, even if they're using a proxy server. Let me explain. One of the ways that these systems work is by analyzing metadata in internet traffic. This includes things like the size of the data packets, the frequency of certain types of data, and other characteristics that are common to users in a particular geographic area. So for example, if you're trying to access a website in France while using a proxy server in Japan, the algorithm would look at your internet traffic and see that most of the websites you've accessed recently are in French. It would also see that you're accessing French social media platforms and French news websites. So even though your IP address says that you're in Japan, the algorithm could accurately determine that you're actually in France. And although this might seem like a minor issue today, it's really just a matter of time until these systems become accurate enough to be used for more nefarious purposes. For example, it's not hard to imagine a scenario where banks and credit card companies use location-based AI to flag suspicious transactions. If you're trying to buy something from a website in another country, the algorithm could look at your browsing history and determine that you're actually in your home country. In that case, it could assume that someone stole your credit card and then put a hold on your account until you can verify that it was you trying to make that purchase. 3. The illusion of control. Perhaps the most insidious thing about AI is that it gives the illusion of control. When we use traditional surveillance technologies like CCTV cameras, we know that we're being watched, and this knowledge alone is often enough to change our behavior. But with AI, we won't even know that we're being spied on. We won't even know that our lives are being analyzed and categorized by machines. Let me illustrate what I mean with an example. Imagine that you're walking down the street and you pass a shop window that has a CCTV camera outside of it. You might be aware that you're being recorded, so you're less likely to do something stupid like jaywalking or public intoxication. But what if the footage from that camera was being analyzed by an AI system that was programmed to detect jaywalkers and public intoxication? In that case, you might not realize that you're being targeted specifically. You might think that you're just another face in the crowd. And this is where things get dangerous. Without knowing that we're being targeted by AI, we're unlikely to change our behavior. We'll just go about our lives as usual. And this gives these systems a lot of opportunities to collect data on us. Imagine a world where every single second of every single day, some machine somewhere is recording everything that you do, every single word that you say, and storing it all in a massive database. And imagine a world where that database is being constantly analyzed by sophisticated algorithms looking for patterns and trends. What kind of insights do you think they would gain about you? What kind of predictions do you think they could make about your life? The possibilities are really endless here. These systems could be used to track our movements, monitor our interactions with other people, and even analyze our facial expressions and body language. And the worst part is that we'd probably have no idea that it's happening. 4. Personalized manipulation. Another scary thing about AI is that it will allow for personalized manipulation. Today, advertisers already use sophisticated algorithms to target us with ads based on our interests and demographics. But with AI, they'll be able to manipulate us in ways that we can't even imagine. You see, AI will allow advertisers to create hyper-realistic simulations of people and then use those simulations to target us with ads. For example, an advertiser could create a simulation of a close friend or family member and then use that simulation to convince us to buy a product. Or they could create a simulation of a celebrity or someone else that we admire and then use that simulation to promote a brand or product. And the worst part is that these simulations will be so realistic that we may not even realize that we're being manipulated. We'll just think that we're talking to a real person. This could have a devastating impact on our society. It could erode trust in advertising and even lead to the collapse of the advertising industry. It could also make it more difficult for us to form meaningful relationships in the real world. After all, why would we need to socialize when we can just hang out with our favorite celebrities and influencers in cyberspace? 5. Superpowered surveillance. Finally, the most obvious way that AI will end privacy is through superpowered surveillance. You see, AI will give governments and corporations the ability to spy on us like never before. They'll be able to use AI-powered drones to track our movements, AI-powered cameras to monitor our interactions with other people, and AI-powered microphones to listen in on our conversations. The possibilities are really endless here. Governments and corporations will be able to spy on us in ways that we can't even imagine. And the worst part is that we may not even realize that we're being spied on. In conclusion, I want to say that I'm not against technological progress. I'm not some Luddite who wants to ban AI and keep us living in the dark ages. I believe that AI has the potential to make our lives better in many ways, but we need to be aware of the risks that it poses to our privacy and our freedom. We need to have an open and honest conversation about these risks and then take steps to mitigate them. Otherwise, we're just allowing big tech corporations and governments to take away our privacy and our freedom without even realizing it. So what do you think? How do you think AI will impact our society? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.